Hey everyone, this is Dalton at Dalton TFs, and today we're bringing you, well, I'm bringing you, something that's really late in the making. I've got Wave 1 and 2 Titanmasters. So let's go ahead and take a look at all these guys. Yes, about half of them are repaints, but a couple are new that have been thrown in. So let's go ahead and start off with the Wave 1 characters, that being Terri-bull, Loudmouth, Crash Bash, and Nightbeat. Now, as far as Terri-bull goes, he is supposed to be... Okay, forgive me, it's Kreb. Kreb. K-R-E-B. Not crap. Anyways, a little, quadruple cannon tank, kind of like the Flak Panzers, just with the barrels on the inside. Nicely molded in this metallic blue. Other than that, the only other colors is this kind of bland gray and the kind of beigeish sand color. As far as the tank mode, the turrets do raise up and down. That's pretty much it. As far as Kreb himself, not bad, kind of generic looking. So, a little bit of yellow there on his face, fold in half. And there we've got the head for Terri-bull, aka Horri-bull, the very much terror dog looking headmaster that turned into a supposed bull. Like I said, looked more like a terror dog from Ghostbusters, and there he is on. As far as the vehicle goes, open it up, bringing out these little treads here on the sides, and flipping forward the nose of it, and you've got a very blocky looking jet. And what you can do with that is you can take Kreb here and plug him in, and he becomes the, part of the fuselage and the rear fins. You can also, and the Takara Legends figures do this with their little added figures, just fold his legs up like that, in there looking like he's flying around in the jets. I can't quite get it, but kind of get the idea. Now, as far as weapon mode goes, just bring out the little handle here, and you can either have these wings out for extra, for these missiles here, or just have them folded up like that, and it just looks like an upside-down tank with a jet nose kind of attached to it. But then you get 5 barrels here at the front, so nothing too spectacular there with the tank mode. As far as the Titanmaster, it's very cool looking. I'm actually surprised I didn't use this with any of the prime-looking figures. But, anyways, put him back there. Bringing in Loudmouth, or Quig, the headmaster for Siren, or if you go by, yeah, Siren, which is clearly that homage. And we've gotten a better version from Takara as, Go Shooter. Get your basic articulation, just little red eyes painted on. Not much else as far as paint, and then you get the standard transformation. Then you get this nice metallic blue and red for the face. Now this looks more like Nightbeat, and you'll get what I'm saying here in a moment. Honestly, wish they would have switched these. Same with the just at least the faceplate and the arms on the two headmasters, or the Takara versions. As for the vehicle mode, you get this little, hover car. And you can have him sitting in the car. There's these 2 little pegs here. And you can have him driving it around. As far as its secondary alt mode, flip these around. Basically turn him into head mode. And plug him right into this spot here. And you get this little tank train looking thing. I mean, it obviously hovers because you get these little 2 thrusters here and the missiles here on the side. Now, one thing I like doing is, instead of having those up as extra missiles, just folding the legs back and having everything incorporated into the vehicle mode as just one solid vehicle. But, you've got options. flip down the little handle here. You can either have these out like that or just fold it up. I don't know, some of these weapon modes are really weird, and some of them make a little bit more sense. As far as working with a body, here he is with Hardhead. So you got that. Now moving on to Crash Bash, who is Locos, or Squeeze Play, if you go by his full body's name. And he's a little T-Rex monster. Insert your Barney jokes here. And you got the little handle that flips up. Now this works good for the Wave 3 overkill or overboard that's coming out, which is blatantly overkill. But as far as this goes, you know, he's incorporated. He becomes like the little arms and lower jaw of this little T-Rex. Now to get him into weapon mode, we'll go ahead and do that real quick. Go ahead and fold down the handle, flip the tail back, and there's these little tiny tabs here on the side. Plug into that slot there. And there we go. So there he is as a gun, a very strange triple-barreled gun that uses the bottom of the dino's feet and its butt. So it's a little odd. Going into his alternate mode, go ahead and split these sides apart. Bring those out. Take him off. Then you rotate the dino legs down. Bring this tail up. Bring the wings around. And there is Crash Bash's Titanmaster partner in Wyvern mode. A lot of people say dragon, but most dragons will have four. I don't want to get technical, but this is a Wyvern. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get technical and have people making typical nerd jokes like, ugh, no, I'm not going to walk into that one. So you can have him. I can get him to stand on here. Have him flying the dragon. Looks really weird. Go ahead and take him off. And looking at Locos or Crash Bash himself, or, you know, Cancer or Squeeze Play. There we go. Very nice looking sculpt. I really dig this. I mean, it works. A little bit of silver paint there on his face. And go ahead and fold him over. Beautiful sculpt on that. I do love that. Really like the silver too, and then the pink for the eyes, or the red for the eyes, and then the kind of pinkish. Now, as far as working with other deluxes, these just really don't want to work with Weird Wolf. Go ahead and plug them onto Heart. There we go. Works fine on a Hardhead, so. A little bit strange there, having that pink head with the green body. I'll set that aside, so that makes 3 out of 8 left. So here is Nightbeat in his little jet mode, flying it around. But again, a really blocky jet. At least this one makes the attempt of having an actual nose cone and wings with weapons. And you got the handle back here serving as a exhaust. Secondary mode, really simple. Just flip this around. That'll form the nose cone of the drill. Flip this whole section up here and close those. Now, and of course you turn him into head mode, but one thing I want to point out is when you put his head in there, just stock as it would be for robot mode, it tends to get stuck very easily. So what I do is turn it halfway around, and there we go. Now is a drill tank, and again, just like I did with the Siren or Loudmouth, fold these back and kind of makes them a little bit more streamlined. That way you don't have just this brick on the back unless you want to consider it like a couple of turrets. But, you know, I just prefer that look. It looks a little bit more like a drill tank would, and this could either be the cockpit here or this up here. And weapon mode is pretty much straightforward. You just bring the handle down, flip up the wings, and there he is as a laser drill with missiles. So that's it for the vehicle. Head mode, here's what I was talking about. See, for Nightbeat, I just don't see this working. He's screaming, or at least very concerned, but more like screaming. Whereas, you know, this one's calm, kind of like he's thinking something. Now, if they would have switched these around, I could see this working better for Loudmouth or Siren, because he is shouting. That's kind of... If you watched one of the, I think it was the 2015 animated script reading, they kind of made Siren sound like Bobcat Goldthwait, so... But, yeah. There's that for Nightbeat. Now moving on to the Wave 2. Half of these guys are repaints. So we'll go ahead and go over them first, starting with Skytread, aka Flywheels. Now, with this guy, same basic thing as Horri-bull, or Terri-bull. Same difference. Except this time you get this kind of like chocolate caramel brown. I don't know how to describe it. Just this light brown. Got some of that raspberry through here, and here on the cannons. You got your jet mode here, and it uses some of that brown for the windows, which doesn't really make much sense. But you can also do the whole thing where he's riding the jet, or just being part of it, but it's hard to do with the way his head's shaped, so I really don't do it much. And, of course, the weapon mode. So there is that. Now, as far as Skytread himself, he is just, body-wise, a repaint of Terri-bull, but in head mode, he is very clearly Flywheels, or, you know, it kind of looks like Blitzwing, too, so this might be the face that they end up using for Blitzwing. And it's very fitting. I mean, it kind of just reminds me of a mix of both the characters. And one thing I plan on doing is I plan on getting a second Voyager Megatron to paint matching this, so we can have a full-on Flywheels triple changer. Kind of like what we got with 2005 or 2015's Battle Trap. But that's pretty much it. Works, you know, same way you would expect. Looks pretty good. Also, here is Nightbeat. Forgot to put his head on backwards. There we go. And that just looks strange. But there are adapters and ways to transform him with the deluxe class. Now bringing in Clobber, which is very clearly Grimlock. Same T-Rex mode. Flip the cannon up if you choose. And, you know, gun mode. I kind of use this as like a target master for my Grimlock that I've got on the shelf. Even though Grimlock never had one. It's still just a neat little concept. Now, this looks a little bit better as a gun. Just the way it's painted and, you know, how the central part of it is gray. It's still just a dino getting ready to... Yeah. Let's just hope he didn't have any beans. I will leave it at that. Dragon mode is what you would expect, or Wyvern, whatever. I like I like being technical about it, but I know a lot of people don't like technicalities that much. So silver on the head / tail, which looks good. And now, as far as he goes, he's just again, body-wise, a repaint of Crash Bash, but in head mode he is very much Grimlock. That gunmetal gray, the red visor, yeah. There's no fooling anybody. This is Grimlock. So, moving on to EightFace, who is probably my favorite of these of all the Titanmasters. Very clearly, he's J1 jet mode. Very nice looking. You got the little bit of red paint here. This is pretty much all paint throughout here. It's molded in this black plastic. And you got the little Decepticon logo there. Go to gun mode, actually. Just flip down the peg, bring down the arms. And we've already seen this in my video for the Takara Weird Wolf. So, nothing new going on there. Go ahead and bring these down. And flip the nose back. And there we got him in Gorilla mode. Which, he does look pretty good. He does look like EightFace as Gorilla. And here we've got... So yeah, it is Spasma, which doesn't make much sense. I figured Spasma would work better with Snapdragon and Krunk would work better with him. So, never mind. As far as the Titanmaster himself, it is completely new, but very, very left unpainted. No paint at all on the robot mode. In head mode, he is very much EightFace with a little bit of Soundwave thrown in. What I've been hearing from people, but I don't see the Soundwave in this. I just see EightFace. So, looks very nice. That kind of glossy purple with this metallic silver and black eyes, so that kind of gives him that dead look. So bringing in hard head so we can see how it looks. I mean, I can kind of dig just the look of that head on this body. It's kind of like a Viacon tank drone. So that does it for EightFace. Now on to the last one, and that is Braun, the one who's gotten the most controversy lately. He is in a little treaded Jeep mode. You got 4 sets of treads here, kind of in that gunmetal gray. And we got the little cockpit here, and he is in basically head mode. Now to turn him into gun mode, it's fairly straightforward. Just fold those forward and bring down the handle. So now this one is probably the best of the gun modes, just not color wise. I mean, it actually does have the barrels up here, little side barrels here. And you can even use his heels as a sight. So as far as other alternate mode, let's go ahead and take him out of there. Flip this little section down and flip the legs, or the back ends, back to form that. And it's this weird, like, little hover scooter bike thing, kind of like the Biker Scouts. Get him in there. You can have him flying around on that, which looks really stupid. In robot mode, he is a very straightforward homage to his G1 toy, especially if you look at his head. That is very much the G1 Braun toy head. And go ahead and flip around, and there he is. So, and I know it made a lot of people mad when he first came out, but now this little thing is kind of redundant because we are getting a full-on Legends class version of Braun. I think they just did it to hold on to the name until they can actually get the figure finished. So that pretty much does it for this just mass of Titanmasters and partners, both waves 1 and 2. So hope you guys enjoyed this random video. That pretty much does it. If you want to see the reviews on these guys, links will be in the description below, along with my Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Make sure to give that video a like, and comment and subscribe. Let me know what you think of all these guys, and what you look forward to seeing in future waves. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you around.